Hi everyone, welcome back to Joel Income Journal. I hope you are doing well. We just wrapped up the first week of November and today I'm going to share 3 things. First, a quick update on my portfolio value. Second, my dividend income for this week. And finally, some new buys I made during the Tuesday's market dip, as well as what I'm doing to keep my margin balance healthy. Alright, so let's get started. Before I begin, just a quick disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor. Everything I share here is purely for educational purpose and to document my own investing journey. Please also do your own research and make sure any investment decision fits your personal risk profile. Alright, with that said, let's take a look at how the portfolio performed this week. So here's where things stand as of this week. My portfolio value stands at $134,788. Okay, total invested was $147,000. Okay, so I have a negative loss of $12,542, which is about 8.5%. My internal rate of return on current holdings is around negative 13.3%. And based on my holdings, my projected passive income remains at around 26%, which is roughly $35,000 a year. Now, this week wasn't as great in terms of portfolio value. The market has been pretty rough, and I promised from the start that I'll be fully transparent. So whether my account is up or down, I'll share it here as it is. Alright, so let's talk a bit about what's going on. The first week of November was quite volatile across global markets. As you can see from the chart, this week the market was down from Monday to Friday. Okay, this is the S&P chart. Right, if we look at Nasdaq is down as well. And then let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin hasn't been doing well for this week as well. So as you can see, for the whole week, it has been down from 110,000 to a low of 98,000. Alright, so we close at, now is at 103,000. Alright, so this overall weakness in the market caused, I'm sure, most of our portfolio value to go down as well. Now let's look at the dividend income for this week. For the week of November 3rd to November 8th, my portfolio generated about US $826 in dividends. Okay, so let me run through the breakdown quickly. On Monday, I received $8.87 from MSTY. This is the Roundhill Max 7 income ETF. Okay, Tuesday, I received $12.50 from NVYY, $66 from PLTY, and $21 from TSLW. Thursday, November 6th, was the biggest payout day, with 468 cents coming from Alti, S-Gulf, Chippy, YETH, and YMAC combined. Then on Friday, I received $316 from BITO, HOOY, MSTY, IWMY, QDTE, TSLY, and XDTE combined. That's a total of $826.70 in just 1 week. And what I like most is that it's nicely spread out. There's no single big payday. Instead, income trickles in every few days. What really makes the portfolio feel like it's generating a regular paycheck. Next, I want to share what I bought on Tuesday, on November 4th, when the market went into one of those red days. Instead of sitting out, I took the opportunity to add a few positions. So here's the list. First, I bought 10 shares of TQQQ. Right now, TQQ is a 3 times leveraged Nasdaq ETF. This isn't part of my income strategy, it's purely for growth exposure. I like having a small slice of the portfolio that can benefit when the market eventually rebounds. Since most of my ETF are high yield and tend to trade sideways or sometimes even trade downwards, TQQQ will give me some upside potential when the tech turns around. And honestly, it pulled back quite a little bit, so I rather buy small on red days than chase green later on. Next, I bought 20 shares of BTCI at $53.25. BTCI is NEO's Bitcoin Income ETF. It's one of my favorite ways to get Bitcoin exposure without holding actual Bitcoin. Okay, it sells options to generate yield, so even when Bitcoin is down, I'm still collecting some income. Right now, Bitcoin has pulled back quite a bit, and I believe that over the long term, it will rebound. So instead of sitting out completely, I'm happy to get paid while waiting. This one fits my goal of having income plus exposure to potential growth themes. Next, I also bought 80 shares of YMAC at $15.38. YMAC is the UMAX Magnificent 7 covered call ETF. It focuses on big tech names like Apple, Microsoft, and Nvidia, and write covered calls to generate weekly income. Now, this ETF has been consistent for me, so adding during rate day allowed me to lock in better yield entry. And the volatility in those tech stocks right now means higher option premiums. So the distributions are likely to stay healthy for a while. I considered YMAC as one of my anchor weekly payers. The last position that I added this week was TSLW. I added 40 shares at $38.10. TSLW is Roundhill Tesla Weekly Pay ETF. It sells covered call on Tesla and pays distribution every week. Tesla has been moving quite a lot, okay, and that volatility actually helps the fund to generate higher income from options. By holding TSLW, I'm actually turning Tesla's volatility into steady weekly cash flow. I top up this position to keep my weekly distribution rhythm stable. Next, I also want to share that this week I also deposited SGD $7,000 into my brokerage account. After my deposit, my margin balance now stands at around US $7,800. The reason why I top up is simple. I want to keep my leverage low and make sure I always have enough buffer if markets remain volatile. I use margin very conservatively as a cash flow tool, not as a leverage to go big. By reducing margin, I lower the risk of margin calls, reducing the stress of any sharp market dips, and keep enough of dry powder ready for future buying opportunities. Even though the interest cost is small and mostly covered by my dividends, I still prefer to stay conservative, especially when yields are climbing and markets are uncertain. So overall, it has been a mixed week. Portfolio value is down, but cash flow remains strong, and that's the key reason I chose this strategy. The weekly payers like LT, YMAX, PLTW and TSLW continue to give me a nice rhythm of distributions. I'm not chasing big wins, I'm focusing on stability, consistency and flexibility. Each week, the income adds up and over time, it compounds. That's the flywheel effect I'm trying to build. So that's my quick update for week 1 of November. I hope it gives you a clearer picture of what's going behind the scenes, the good, the bad and the red weeks too. As always, I'll continue sharing my results honestly so you can see the full picture. If you found this video useful, please like and subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts in the comments below. I really appreciate everyone follow along this journey. Let's see what week 2 brings. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.